Welcome everybody, welcome back to another video by the Tomb of Illumination. I'm just going to add a bit more to the last video I did. The video for beginners, the flat earth physics for beginners. And another video based on the ring magnets I was using. Moving around the center north magnet. And a couple of simple-minded people were basically saying, see, I can't do it, it doesn't make sense, I'm full of BS. Not realizing it's hard to do because a magnet is like it's a four-way system. It's not a monopole. I'm not taking the one south pole and moving it around a north pole. They can't think, but that brought me to a point though, because how many of you realize that this represents magnetism? Why do you think the Freemasons have this on their floors? Because it's the foundation of everything. Everything is based on magnetism. You take a magnet, like a bar magnet maybe, whatever, you could argue, depends on how they magnetize it, but at the end of the day, this is the, let's say North Pole, South Pole, South Pole. Try and move one of those around the center north, you know, because you got them around here, right? This is the southern hemisphere. It's all overlaid, infinite. Then I'm going to put some more in there, because every man is on a meridian from the north to the south. He's on one line, so he will have one rotation mirroring the movement of the central vortex of creation that's right in here. We do not see it. One of these so-called scientists on my site, who tries to pretend he's got a brain, asked me why we can't see it. My response was, you can't see wind either. You can only see its effect. What does the meteorologists in America say? Mention the Arctic vortex. They know about the winds, okay? So understanding that, these are basically, you could say, monopoles, because you've got a north pole and south pole. But like in my videos I've been trying to explain, is you split it in half, so you have a south and a north. Okay? And up in the northern hemisphere you have the same, don't you? Split in half, you have day and night. The north pole, south pole, which is day and night. And this thing is turning. So all the northern hemisphere is a first state of projection from the center of creation, the vortex hidden in the Arctic center. So it expresses out its image, because it's a hidden vortex. You can't see until night time comes around. Then you get to see the cycle, all the stars in here. That's the cycle of the moon, because it's all feminine in there. What's on top of on the 2D plane is all male, all the planets. That's the wave. It comes out of the center here. There's a gurgler down here, and over here is the other end of the Milky Way. That's the Milky Way. Two ends of the Milky Way meet in the black hole in the sun. Well, that is the black hole, but if you bring it back down to a 2D plane, there's the black hole. Otherwise, exploded like this is 3D. So this all becomes the black hole, the pipeline, the vacuum. Yeah, pipeline or vacuum. You get the pipeline and a wave. There's the wave, and there's a pipeline. Okay. So what happens is these all rotate with this turning. This turns with it. They turn together. So as the center turns, this one winds all the way around. Okay. So this is what's happening. I tried to show in the other video. Is, let's say that's south. So at the complete separation of the two hemispheres, after the 17th of October, when the field pops out to the south, we get the sun right out around the far perimeter because it's come down in the ecliptic plane. There's the tropical gap or the ecliptic plane gap. What's happening? This vortex in the center up here, expansion and contraction. We'll send it down here, the sun image, or up and in. Okay? Up and in. So, complete separation is down after 17th of October down here somewhere. It completely pops in and moves all the way around the south, the sun's image. And because you're on one of these meridian lines, if you're in centre Arctic, at say 77 degrees like some dudes recently were, there's your sun moving around you see. It's popped out to the south and it's doing that rotation around you because everything's doing a rotation around back here at the centre vortex. Everything's turning. There's your horizon. You've got to understand this horizon. Every man has this rotation we can see through star trough photography. That one rotation is within his arc of horizon. It's just a mirror effect from the north. It's mirroring the northern hemisphere rotation. You can say it's the northern hemisphere or the centre vortex. But this comes right out to here anyway. Right out to there. There's your centre vortex. That's your first projection of the stars. That's the first state of projection. Then they're all parabolically projected to the southern hemisphere. Okay, so complete separation, but then you have to understand that contraction and expansion, this closes up and overlays and comes back out again. So when this clump comes right over and overlays there, what have you got? You've got the Physica Piscis right in here. Okay, and then it goes back out again. Religion is all physics, I've told you many times. So what's happening is, as it's moving in, and everything's always moving around, it's always moving, this say, division here, the south side, complete separation is aligning. So this half would marry with this half. So there would be day, there would be day. It's aligned as it's turning. But as it contracts in, this is not, no, if that's aligning, then your nighttime will be aligning up here too. This is on the other side of the world, okay? Your stars would be aligning, okay? But as the season changes, it becomes slightly offset. So instead of having this half marrying this half, but just realise the southern hemisphere is a lot bigger than this in here. It's out here. Let's go out here. That is not exactly as it starts changing, moving. The field starts moving in. This is turned more, so it starts kinking a bit off. Starts tilting a bit as it moves in. So it's getting an attraction on between the two opposing fields. This one's being attracted to this. It's catching here, and it's drawing it in, and then it draws out again. That's the seasonal change. It's the fluctuation of the vortex motion. It's like your heart contracts and expands, right? So you've got this effect going on. There's a bigger ratio, the 3:2, the southern hemisphere. It actually overlays, it goes up like this. I've been saying it goes down into a mente. It's more like going down into a mente, but it doesn't move. I think this goes up like this. Pretty sure it does. I've always said it went like that, but they could be overlaying. They all overlay. They come up like this. So it's moving around like this. As they're turning, you know. Turn together and this moves all the way around. But this one's infinite. Millions of them, because every man is on a meridian. He gets his own, because basically these are his two horizons, or his horizon, within his horizon. That's all he gets. So if the centre vortex is turning behind him, he's on a line, meridian, then this is turning, mirrored. If he's got a stationary camera filming the stars, this is turning, then this is turning, marrying that circle. You can get a circle within seconds of setting up your camera for star trail photography. It doesn't mean your stars are all turning in here. No, your stars are always coming in to your horizon and going out of your horizon. They're all moving, these stars are all moving around the north. They're not circumpolar stars. These aren't. But in the north they are. How can that be if it's a globe? It's supposed to be equal. It's supposed to do the same thing. No, it's all rubbish. It's no globe. Okay, so you understand the seasons changing like this? Only goes to this point here. You think, why? What makes it go to that? What makes it go that far? Now think about that. Keep that in your mind, okay? Now we have the other image. That's what it looks like. The plane is inside here. You're seeing the star, southern stars bouncing off this field outside, and you've got the other field coming out of the centre Arctic around the north. So this overlay is basically, what happens is, you got the centre north in there, look, right. See, all creation came out of the centre here, the centre hyperboloid of the toroidal field, and then expanded out, got to a certain point, then it split off, just like a cell. It became a split cell. You know that it happens in nature, doesn't it? And then it became a split cell. The centre north is expressed out. You've seen this in the globe model. You look at Antarctica like this, right? Antarctica. But in reality, here's Antarctica, all around the perimeter. Here's Antarctic. All that is a mirror representation of in there. But they won't show you that. This out here, Antarctic, is the northern hemisphere, right in there, the Arctic. So, let's say you've got the Arctic right up there, and the changing season, this is the changing season. I've shown this before, bear with me. Comes right in to there. It doesn't, so it's coming into the centre, see? It stops at the perimeter of the centre. It doesn't go inside out. It's expansion and contraction like this. But we don't know this because we're all relative to the magnetic field. This is the way to think of the Gleason map. We don't know it's expanding. We don't know we expand as we move south because we're all relative to the field. We're in the field, part of the field, expanding and contracting. So it goes so far and stops, gets out the end and stops short of the centre. It can't cross over the centre. That field can't cross over here, can it? So that's why it goes so far. The field only goes so far. That's the expansion and contraction of that. And here's another way to see it, because it's all described in the, it's all, well, I have to describe it. I have to explain it because no one else has figured it out. That's what the pyramid, Great Pyramid's all about. And this is the same system. Because you've got to think of the centre here. Think of this as nice concentric circles. It's happening like this. There's your, it's the sun's path over the year, right? Up and in. And then it goes down. That probably goes up like that. Inside out. I said it didn't go inside out over there in that thing. But when you think about it this way, maybe that's what happens. But I was just showing you that the centre point, how the field doesn't go past the centre point, but that's probably better displayed in that little torus thing. ducting. But you got the same thing here, because it's all about the pyramid, because the sun's going around all those steps in the pyramid. It's always up to center, up to the top, northern winter, northern summer, and then winds all the way back down for the Antarctic, the sun always coming around the outside. Look. So you've got this in the center, and it's mirrored out here, then it's going to be all the way around the south. But now I've got to make a video explaining why, you know, because everything back here is moving around here, comes around from the east into your arc of horizon, up and over it, and disappears out of your horizon. But it's due to this phase shift I was telling you about, where the field pops into the south. And then we get the image of the center-north vortex, where everything turning here is mirrored out here. And that's when you start to realize that rotation there is this rotation out here. The sun going around like this, the sun going around in there. Okay? Because it's inverted. It's now the whole thing is inverted, because look, you say the hidden sun's up in the centre doing circles up there in their summer around Antarctica, around the Arctic. Then it comes down, comes through here, becomes inverted. Now it's doing a circle around you, because it's a mirrored effect from the north to the south. So it's doing a circle in your arc of horizon. You've got to realise your arc of horizon is mirrored from here. It's mirrored. They're all mirrored. Okay? Might have helped. Might have helped some people. Can't help everybody. Now you've got to understand how simple the globe people are that believe they live on a spinning ball. When all the answers are just in the one word, horizon. It's quite obvious. Well, most of us know the horizon is where? 3 miles out? 3 miles out there? 3 miles out there? 3 miles out there? So wouldn't their horizon be a circle around you? But I know intelligent people that don't understand that. They see the curve. It's curving around you. They think that curve is associated with the curving of the ball. Living on the outside of a ball. So that's your arc of horizon. You don't see beyond your horizon. So if it's 3 miles out there, 3 miles out there, what makes you think it's not 3 miles all the way over there from the observer? And that's your arc of horizon. So everything is seen from your perspective on this arc, on this dome of perspective. Arc of horizon. You're on a plane with this dome. So there's a guy who's done a pretty good app on YouTube now. He's showing these domes, but he hasn't got the sun right. None of them are talking about the unseen centre vortex, where the actual pure plasma sun is. This is non-physical. So the physical would imitate this, because we've come from nothing. They don't want to talk about that, because these religious people freak out when you say that. They don't realise that's God. God's creation has produced us. And we come from there, and we're imitating what's in there. So the sun we see out here is an imitation of what's going on in here. I've done videos about showing how the ecliptic plane flexes up and down due to this vortex. That up and down is tilting this here, because it's down and out, up and in. The whole thing down and out, all the way around, all goes up and in. It's the ecliptic plane, a 2D plane. Like that. That's why the Egyptians show us the birds with their wings. All the colours in the wings, that's the frequencies. All the frequencies in the wind. Then they show you the bird like this. Whoa, I bet those are tilting 23.4 degrees. Put your protractor on them. Yeah, the flexing of the ecliptic plane. Because they know the bird's wings are like this, up and down. Pretty simple. So, in these globies, they don't see the northern and the southern hemisphere at once. They don't see beneath them and see what's happening down there. They just see the sun go out of their horizon. It's gone over their horizon and gone out. So they never stop and think. They never think straight. So I found it so easy to argue with a Globie, eh? They're so basic. I mean, we're all basic like that at one stage. I mean, but I never, most people don't even stop and think about it. I never thought about it till I discovered what they'd done on 9/11, what they'd done. You know, when you dig deep into that and find out what they'd done, you want to investigate the rest of history. So you go down a rabbit hole and discover everything's a lie. Everything. They've lied about everything. Genocidal freaking maniacs run this world. Donald Trump is a New York developer. Donald Trump is a Zionist. You know who dropped the 9/11? The buildings. Who's that guy, Larry? What's his face? Just look at his face. He looks like nothing but a stamp of feces. All those guys knew they were going to murder 3,000 people. No big deal. No big deal. It was only one day. It was only within an hour or so, or a couple of hours. What else have they done over their history? Their lives? How many people have they wiped off the map? Now back to this. Understanding magnetism. This is basically what this ring magnet was. Or is, or a bar magnet, whatever. They're set up like this. So you could probably, if you think deep, relate that to this. Because you've got the two fields here and the two fields here in the southern rotation, right? Day and night here and day and night there. So there's a 4-set unit. And that's what you have in magnetism. Think about that. The Freemasons know everything. Now this here, look. Invert it or invert it. The same thing. Take that, turn it inside out, and you invert it. Or let's say it's, what is it now? It's out there at the moment. And then you invert it back in, it all comes to the inside. So all that sun, that pops to the Arctic. So you get the sun around the Arctic now. Let's say that's the cycle of the sun. Out there going around everybody individually in the Arctic as your arc of horizon. You know, but at the end of the day, it is going all the way around Earth, because it's in this ecliptic plane area, and it's mirrored off the wall. It's all mirrored off this wall. You know, it's all mirrored off here, back to the observers. Or this way. But the whole structure in there is this like crystalline structure of water molecules that creates this. Your image of the sun is within 3 miles, okay? Realise that. In the moisture-filled atmosphere. Because that's how man just sees, it's the perspective of the universe. So realise that, it's out there, and then it inverts inside out, goes inside out. Oh no, that way, whatever you want. There the sun becomes around the Arctic 24/7. 24/7, okay? But it's this, it still comes out and around. Yeah, you just got to imagine it. That turns inside out. Turn that thing inside out for the northern hemisphere, and then express it back out for the southern hemisphere. Whoop, 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 whoop. Vortex, in, out. That's your heart. And that's your southern hemisphere field coming up and in. It doesn't get, there's your centre there, see? There's the centre Arctic there, And when this comes back a bit, you end up getting your Physica-Piscis, mate. Whoa. The Eye of Ra. The magic spot. Okay? Now, I haven't heard anything about these guys. I told them all when they went down to Antarctica, take your northern hemisphere compass and watch it flip as you crossed over the tropics. The first, I've never watched any of them full videos, they're just garbage. The first 5 minutes I saw of one of his videos, as he's moaning about this electronic compass not working properly. I'm thinking, electronic compass? Someone who doesn't believe in a spinning ball scientific bullshit, didn't take a basic compass you can't screw with. He's using one of their specifically designed electronic compasses. No, I want to know who took a basic northern hemisphere compass across the tropics and watched it spin and now face to the Arctic to prove my point. Both Arctics are north poles. And if they're taking a dip compass, which would have been better, they would have seen it pointing up as they cross the tropics, and then as they start moving south right down to the Antarctica, it would have started going down to dip. You would have known for sure, but any of them do it? No. So it makes you wonder. Okay, that aside, then you come over here to the flippin' basic flat earthers. Stupid frickin' people coming up with these stupid ideas about how they faked the whole trip to Antarctica to try and dispute the 24-hour sun. Don't listen to them. Studio and all this bullshit. There's a 24-hour sun down there, okay? I've shown it over the last couple of years in my videos if you want to delve deep. I did have a few more, but I took them off, and I took off a pile of really good videos to put on my newly opened Patreon. But I've had all this information over the year or two since I've had Patreon. I haven't even got back to the good storage, the good videos I put in storage. So they'll surface one day. I'm actually going through, if I get spare time, I try and go through and edit some old ones I've left on YouTube, or old ones in storage, edit them and put them on. Yeah, I'm gradually doing once in a blue moon. And even editing old videos on there where I've learned a little bit more, or even finding old videos I've got on Patreon, putting them on YouTube. So there's plenty to do, and it's good to have a little bit of financial support, because I spent fucking ages doing this, eh? And YouTube doesn't pay me anything. You only get a few bucks out of Patreon, but it's better than nothing. But I'm grateful to everyone on there. And having this paywall, there's people interested, so you can spend time with them. But, YouTube guys, they can't afford $3.50 a month for some truth. You got to think twice about wasting your time. But I have been answering a lot of their questions, but just bear in mind, it's only $3.50. Well, that's basic. You can pay $3.50 a month, then get into Patreon, pay $20, get to see all the videos and jump out again if you want. But you're missing a lot if you jump out. Yeah, because I'm putting stuff in there all the time. I'm the only guy to explain all this stuff, because I'm the only guy who can understand all the ancient texts. It's in esoteric form, you see. It's Kabbalistic stuff. All these sites out there talking about the Kabbalah and all their opinions, all these Jewish guys out there, rabbis and whatever, giving their opinion. No, I don't need to give you an opinion. I give you the facts. You only come here for the facts, not the dribble. Sit there for 2 hours, and at the end of the video you learn nothing except listen to them babble on. No, it's all here, guys. Trust me. Don't forget to subscribe and put our likes up, because we'll get out there more. Because the more people start learning the truth, they start understanding the meaning to life, making the connection between the earth and man, the two hemispheres of the brain, two hemispheres of earth. Okay? This thing, think of it as like an atomic explosion. Everything is atom. Atoms, atom breaks down. It's a joule. Atom is a dual system. Our whole world is dual, male and female. Up, down, South Pole, North Pole, weak force, strong force. Heaps. It's a dual system. Okay? Going back and forwards, the friction creates life. This basically, friction is movement, and the movement creates life. If it didn't move, it would be fixed and stationary like the flat earth. The earth is. Because earth is from the place of rest. a state of rest. But they've got the magnetic field over it, seeking equilibrium, because it's a 3-to-2 ratio. It's never at rest. That's why you have to understand the two fields are different, the 3-to-2 ratio. Otherwise you wouldn't have this going on. You wouldn't have the friction. Weak force, strong force. Trying to find a balance. But they have to avoid the black hole, because that is balance. And that's why they've got this friction around it. It's the avoidance zone. Okay, thanks for watching.